How's everyone? Diamond here, and this year is the year of Shadow. With the trailers and announcements of Sonic and Shadow Generations, it has got me thinking a lot about the 2005 spin-off game, and a comment in my last video, that's besides the point. You clicked this video for the lore and how Shadow the Hedgehog story fits in. Now this game's story is complicated. The many alternate paths and endings, it's hard to figure what truly happened or not, so let's get into it. First, let's start with what we know is canon. Shadow starts in Westopolis and ends in Last Story, immediately making all other endings non-canon. So wham, it's gone right off the bat. Another thing, the Doom, Cosmic Fall, Space Gadget, Iron Jungle's boss Eggbreaker, and Lost Impact are all canon due to Shadow remembering quotes from cutscenes relating to all those stages. Another thing, IDW Sonic Comics number 6 shows Sky Troops and how Eggman joined the fight. So wham, all of those stages are all canon. Now this is where things get complicated. Shadow can't get to the story since he can only move through the chart left to right. He can't go diagonally when he does heroic or evil actions, but it always flows left to right. And since 3 of the canon stages are all vertical, the game is impossible to become canon unless I pick and choose what is and what's not. Unless the chart system itself is not canon, so the timeline of events is completely out of order and can go in any direction. Now with that in mind, a canon path is possible. So, to start off, let's group it into 2 chunks, Earth and Space. So everything that takes place on Earth is in the first half, and then everything that takes place in space goes to the other half. So, the way I have it now is he starts in Westopolis, makes his way to the Doom, fights Heavy Dog, then goes to Sky Troops, then moves his way along to Iron Jungle, fights Eggbreaker, goes to Lost Impact, then Space Gadget, and then Cosmic Fall, and out to Last Story. Now one more thing we're forgetting is the Chaos Emeralds. We know Shadow gets all 7 by the start of Last Story, and with the stages we have, it's actually possible. 2 in Westopolis, 1 for beating Eggbreaker, 1 from stealing it from the ship in Lost Impact, 1 for beating Sonic in a race in Space Gadget, 1 for gunning for the Emerald in Cosmic Fall. This leaves Shadow with 6, getting the 7th in the Last Story, completely wrapping everything up in a nice bow. So here you go. If you want what's canon, then this is it. We've done it. But this isn't enough for me. There are a couple of things still left over. Just because it hasn't been stated to happen doesn't mean it's non-canon. Also, we know Shadow gets all his memories back after the game, so I'm going to add more to the path. First, I'm going to add Lethal Highway in between Westopolis and the Doom, giving us the last missing boss, Black Bull, and gives Black Doom a Chaos Emerald to bring back to the Comet. You hold it when you complete the boss, but he has it in the cutscene and runs right before the fight, so let's just say the result screen doesn't happen. I'm also going to add Final Haunt, moving Shadow and Sonic from the Ark to the Black Comet in the Last Story. Plus the stage entered finding Black Doom next to the Last Emerald, transitioning nicely into the final story. Another stage I'm going to add is Prison Island after Lethal Highway and before the Doom. It has Shadow get more flashbacks with him escaping prison after landing on Earth, and it sets up the Doom with him questioning why he was captured. Now, my explanation for the Emerald is a stretch. The one they were racing for in Space Gadget is actually the one in Cosmic Fall, so they don't get an Emerald in Space Gadget. Finally, I'm going to add Digital Circuit. It's just the Black Arms hacking the government, which does happen. It's the cutscene of the president getting a call about it, always plays. Now, the reason you don't get the Chaos Emerald in that stage is that Rouge takes it back to the government, and then they put it on the Ark. And that's where you get the Emerald in Cosmic Fall. So, to recap everything I just said, Shadow goes to Westopolis, then to Lethal Highway, fights Black Bull, goes to Digital Circuit, then Prison Island, the Doom, Heavy Dog, Sky Troops, into Iron Jungle, fights the Eggbreaker, heads to Lost Impact, Space Gadget, Cosmic Fall, Final Haunt, and lastly, the Last Story. But that's not everything. There are 22 stages in the game. I'm going to use 22 stages in the game. So let's try and organize them into a coherent story. So let's do this. So, we start in Westopolis, collecting 2 Chaos Emeralds. Then, moving away to Lethal Highway after Black Doom says he found another Chaos Emerald in the city. After reaching the emerald, Black Doom takes it and sends in Black Bull to fight us. After that, Gun Commander sees Shadow as an enemy. Black Doom then asks Shadow to hack the government, sending him to Digital Circuit. Shadow then meets Rouge and decides to help her instead, with her taking the Chaos Emerald back to Gun. After that disobedience, Black Doom sends Shadow to Glyphic Canyon, where, after the display of power, Shadow decides to help him act through the temple. Then, using Chaos Control, to head to Prison Island to find the next emerald. There, he remembered the events of waking up in his Sonic Adventure 2. Later, heading for that damn 4th emerald at Circus Park. After collecting the emerald, he goes for a stroll to clear his head when Black Doom takes him to the Doom. There, he fights Heavy Dog. After remembering what happens on the Ark, Shadow then goes on an evil arc, helping Black Doom bomb Central City. Then, heading to Airfleet to follow the President, finding the emerald Rouge took there. Eventually, chasing the President back to Gun Fortress, where he meets Rouge again and chills back to being a neutral party in the war. With the tides of war shifting in Gun's favor, Black Doom heads to Death Ruins. There, he meets Shadow. With Shadow, he heads to Sky Troops. There, he sees Eggman and remembers he knows a lot about him. So with a new quest in mind, he goes to find Eggman. First, he goes to Cryptic Castle. Eventually, finding the Chaotix, trying to hack into Eggman's computer at Mad Matrix. Shadow agrees to help in an attempt to find Eggman, which takes him to Iron Jungle, where he finds Shadow androids. With Omega, he finds Eggman to confront him about the truth. In his Egg Breaker, Eggman tells Shadow he's an android. Confused, Shadow pursues further into Lava Shelter, until he decides Eggman's not worth it anymore and heads back. There, he meets Sonic, telling him he's headed for the Ark. Shadow agrees, and aboard the ship, Shadow finds another emerald, steals it, causing alarms that bring back memories of Lost Impact. After the flashbacks end, Shadow gazes upon the Ark and remembers dying in SA2, confusing him until Sonic tells him they should race like good old times, and they agree, landing at Space Gadget. Racing past the Ark until stopped by fighting Blue Falcon, until making it to Cosmic Fall, where the Gun Commander goes to confront Shadow about the deaths on the Ark, with Shadow agreeing to turn himself in if he's responsible for the deaths. Meeting back with Sonic, he sees the comments and they both agree to head there. After this stage, Black Comet, is Final Hunt, where they find the last emerald with Black Doom leading into Final Story. So there we have it, 3 explanations on the Shadow story, with the last 2 actually getting English cutscene videos releasing around the same time as this. So check them out if you want. Thanks for watching. I'm bad at endings, so bye.